safe for runners and cyclists away from automobiles. It's phenomenal. I am not an anti-fracking guy. I'm safe with it. I know that that's probably the minority in this room. I don't believe that the fracking issue I'm not worried about it. However, the possibility, although very small for contamination, the potential is so large, there's just some places that you don't do this. But back to my question, will there be a Q&A where we can ask questions and the experts will actually answer them?
Because we're getting a lot of questions in through the internet. We're compiling those and getting some questions pulled, some answers pulled together.
But then you're able to pick and choose those questions.
Will there be? No, actually, I have to answer all of them. I don't know what you think the public process is, but that's what I think it is. Now, I'm going to summarize some of those because I think many of you are asking the same question multiple times in different forms. We'll figure out how to do that, and you can tell me once we get those done, and that's why we asked you for the forms. Once we get those done and that round of information pulled together, then we'll come back and see some more.
So you are required to answer.
Question.
You are required to answer every question that's asked.
It's either yes or no. It's either yes or no.
Yeah, he'll be here presently. So the lady in black.
My question to Councilman, why can't this issue be put on a public ballot? So many people are impacted.
Yeah, let us vote.
So there's a process for that. We'll get that information up on the web. And the lady that,
Yeah, we voted for maps.
I have two questions. If this affects the neighborhoods, all the neighborhoods around the lake are 50+ years old. Their piping for the water that comes into our neighborhoods flows every year. So within that, are they going to subsidize us for any issues that happen within our water space? And if our property value goes down, is that going to be subsidized as well?
so I saw the email about earthquake damage. No,
I didn't ask
What do you
about
mean, no?
earthquake damage.
she did. Water pipes. No, water pipes are my problem.
She asked about property value.
Water pipes are our
You
problem.
didn't answer my question.
Okay, try again.
Try again. Okay. Within our space, in the neighborhood surrounding the lake, we drill, and when there are issues within the water coming into our neighborhoods, our piping is 50+ years old. We have water issues every year, pipes are broken. So with this happening, and water's going to be diverted for the drilling, which will affect our neighborhoods, will we be subsidized for the issues that we incur in our space?
Okay, so you're making a connection between the pipes in your house.
No, the water pipes coming to our home.
Okay, the pipes
On the
between
street.
the pipes from in the street or in your yard.
Water line for the Scotch
Yes.
the city.
Your water line, the council and the
Yeah.
water committee, correct?
Yeah, those are my problem. That's correct. Those are my problem.
But it becomes my problem when the pipes are blowing in my neighborhood and my property value goes down. It's my problem and your problem.
So pipe repair is made through our capital program, and the American Water Works Association sets standards for replacement of pipes, which we follow. That mean if you start to see more breaks than is the national standard, we start replacing mains, and that happens fairly quickly. Sometimes mains deteriorate quickly. I have not seen grave problems in your neighborhood. I've seen a couple of places with hot spots from aggressive soils.
Inside the water pressure is higher because we are closer to the water source. The water pressure is higher going into our neighborhoods, and our pipes flow more often than outside of higher water pressure.
I'm going to ask your engineering manager about the pressure.
My
but-
second question
I got it.
is, if we don't want this to happen, it doesn't happen?
Well, you continue to participate in the process.
What is your process to make sure this is as intended?
So,
Every day.
Your employee who
Hold on,
wants
hold
you to stop
on.
it.
Let her answer. What's your process to make sure this doesn't happen?
to make sure your water pipes don't break,
Every day.
your process as a citizen is to participate as you are doing now and to follow the process.
Process to make sure that us as citizens make sure that this doesn't happen in our neighborhood. What is your process?
That's not my goal is to vet the request. My goal is to get to an answer. My job is to get to an answer. My job is not to deny or approve. Pardon me?
Ms. Slaughter, when would they vote? Maybe that'd be easier. When would you vote?
People in, right? So how do we vote this month?
When would the Water Resource Board vote?
The Water Utilities Trust, we don't know when they'll vote. We are collecting information at this time. It's a public process. If you set yourself up on the internet to get information about the Water Trust in this item, I know for a fact you can have it delivered to yourself and keep yourself appraised, okay? Yes.
I was just wondering, so you're collecting information that says on here we have until the 22nd to give information? Why such a short time span if there's going to be time?
You got to start answering questions at some point. Well, look, I have 100 questions so far, plus all the ones that I've heard tonight, some of which are different, some of which, and some of you have seen your names on email, so I thank you for being willing to stick out the process. And given that I have 100 questions already, it seems to me I could get to 250 or 300 by next Monday and start rolling out answers so that you can either ask me more questions or refine the questions or determine a new issue that you want to talk about. It's about, that's why.
How will those questions be answered? So if we submit all the questions, when will those be answered?
We don't know yet. Some of them are going to,
That's fantastic planning.
some of them are going to be easily answered. Some of them will be easily answered and can roll out pretty quickly, like 21%. Some of them will take research and additional information.
And on
Yes.
research, are you all, you do know that New York banned fracking yesterday?
Yes.
Are you aware of that? Have we done anything to find out what they did years and years of study. Have we contacted them to find out about their study, or what studies are you doing on that?
I'm collecting information. So,
We
yes.
have had earthquakes in Oklahoma
I'm operating
City.
under the presumption that Pedestal has provided an actual proposal, documentation, and guidelines that they have proposed to implement this plan.
Yes, the 2012 proposal is on the web at okc.gov.
Okay, that was what I wanted to know. Is that comprehensive with what they provided to the Water Trust?
That's what we have so far.
And do they intend to provide any other further details regarding such things as their details on their slope containment plans or technical specs on those actual guidelines on what they plan to do about building this noise buffer with materials, any kind of engineering program, blueprints?
Yeah, they have to. It's a part of the deal.
Will those be made available to the public prior to any decision being made?
All actions requested of the Water Trust are public information, and as such are provided ahead of time. I understand that you're looking for information further in advance, and we will accommodate, we'll do everything we can to make sure we accommodate
Will
that.
that be information be posted on the website, or do we actually make an actual request for the Water Trust to provide those?
No, that's okay. We'll put, I see no way out of this except to post everything that on the web, don't you? Yes.
Hi, Dave Lindo, OKC
Hey,
Kayak.
Dave.
We've met many times before. We've had leases within 100 yards of the proposed site for kayaking and paddle sport related activities, SUP, stand-up paddleboard. My concern is the lack of transparency in the process. Could you speak to what other sites that potentially Lake Hefner or other city lake reservations are in consideration for this? And what those talks might be, or what limits we're going to put on, are we going to have one oil well at Lake Hefner? Are we going to allow two? We're going to have to allow 6 of these things. you know, with directional drilling technology, why is it not being proposed for a private pad site somewhere else that can reach five miles underneath Lake Hefner? The city would still receive royalties, and seems like a better solution than permanently ruining the aesthetic value of the lake for paddlers, for bikers, for runners, for everybody.
We'll have to post full response to that and put that information on the web. In the structure.
There you got a postage stamp area that's surrounded 360 degrees by areas that are prohibited from doing any drilling. And he pointed to a couple of areas that would be like a secondary berm and other construction. And of course, state law prohibits you from building any kind of structure within that 660 feet, except specifically for the environmental protection of the water resource. Now, I don't know how you think you're getting around that.
So, we'll look at the water supply map, but so here's the deal. Lake Hefner has a dam at the north end, right? We all know that. At the south end, it was a creek. So lots of little fingers in the creek. When they built the lake, they built a diversion system around the lake so that all water that comes in above what was considered the normal lake level is diverted and goes east and north around the lake. That was, at the time, the thing that people did to protect from things like oil spills from cars, from trucks. Those of you who've seen our solid waste trucks and how they can be gooey sometimes know exactly what I mean. So going back to the point.